Hey man, how are you? Everything
Good. How
good?
you doing?
Pretty
Yeah,
good.
all situated here.
All right.
Where do you live?
I live in West Covina and I work in Burbank. So I'm in Burbank right
Uh,
now.
oh, right on.
Yeah, how about yourself?
You're at Warner's. You're at Burbank.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I know everything there is to know about Burbank.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah. You're
Oh,
from the area,
oh,
right? So I'm recording just so you know. So we'll see what comes of this, but just wanted full disclosure.
understood.
Yeah, yeah. So I have some audio recorded and then we're just recording the screen as well. So,
Okay.
yeah. So anyway, again, thanks for doing this. I'm not like a professional podcast interview guy, just, just fan. I'm fan on Instagram, reading all your stuff. I'm like, wow, this guy's got an interesting backstory, aside from, the John Frusciante connections, like this guy's doing his own thing. So I want to hear about what you're doing, like with your music. And I just read that article about your, the meat stuff that you were talking about as well. So that's interesting as well.
Yeah.
It's a new adventure I think you're taking as well.
Well,
Right.
yeah. I as an artist, um, and as a person, I got almost to the point musically where there was nothing else to accomplish,
Hmm.
and I don't know. That was it.
Yeah.
So you know me from the John Frusciante stuff. One thing about me and John was always the same philosophies, and we spent a lot of time together. So,
Hmm.
and I mean, that's why you could see what he did, when he walks away, because he has the balls to do it.
Hmm.
And it's in the water in Chatsworth.
Yeah.
And but I played with Eddie Vedder and Brad Wilk in a band called Indian Style.
Right. Yeah, I saw
And
that too. Yeah, were you guys signed? Did you
so
guys have a deal and stuff like that? Or was that
no,
early days?
okay, so this is the lineage.
Okay,
So
yeah. Well,
in
let's go
high
back.
here's the lineage. I started playing music in high school, right?
Okay. Chadsworth.
And that's right. And I had a band called Ike, and we were like the party central. I just write party songs about beer and all this crap, and
Hmm.
all these satirical tunes, right?
Yeah.
And then the guitar player I played with, and Ike, Tom Tritt, and John were best buddies, and they had the band called Screaming Cockamamie Brothers, and they had this song called Penis on a Plate, and they were just like me, right? But they
Hmm.
were a bit nerdy, I'd say, and I was like the cool guy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had I had I had the mohawk and the the dudes be like, "Hey man, can you play our party, man?"
Right, yeah.
So
In the scene.
Tom left to Palmdale, and
Oh,
it was like
okay.
devastating. And then I met John, and me and John practically got in a fight the first time we met. We got kicked out of class and sent to the principal. So he sat there, and I'm like, dude, you're just going to say this, and I'm going to say this, and we're going to go. So I was really used to being in the principal's office. That guy, knew my birthday.
Hmm. Yeah.
And from that day, we got to be really good friends. And we were both like these, and I'm not trying to brag or anything, but it's like we were like musical savants
Yeah.
and very intellectual. So we shared the same aspect in life as far as learning music and learning about other mediums. We watched a lot of Woody Allen movies together, and we both like Nietzsche and philosophy. And John had the capacity to be just as obnoxious as I was.
Hmm.
So it was pretty fun. And then he got in the band, and he took it to this virtuoso level.
In Ike.
Like,
Yeah. And how
so
old
he
are you
joined
guys
Ike.
at this time? Like, when did you guys, like, how old? I mean, you guys, I'm assuming about the same age at
I'm
this
like
point?
17.
Okay. And he's,
So I think he's younger than me.
oh, okay. He's
I
in
was born in
70,
68.
68.
I
Okay, yeah,
think.
2 years. Okay. I'm
So yeah, I
73,
think
so I'm not too far behind you guys
right.
in age.
So, but you know how it is. You don't really realize that stuff.
Yeah.
But we both ended up getting kicked out of school and put into continuation school. And
Okay.
then we just went crazy from there. And it was good.
Yeah.
And he was already being noticed. So Jerry Fialka knew who he was.
Hmm.
Frank at this time, he wasn't quite there yet, but he hung out with this guy named Brian and then this woman named Laurel Fishman. who Zappa wrote a tune about.
Yeah.
That's Jewish. She's the Jewish princess in the tune.
Right.
So
right.
she used to drive us around and buy us beer and all that good stuff. And Brian was the one who kind of got us to make those videos and videotaped us.
Oh, okay.
He was a tech for Zappa. He was one of his road techs.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's the Time Speed. Is that the place?
So that's where they did that video. Is Time Speed. So for me, I'm 17 years old, and these guys come in from the record plant to mix it, and we're in this studio where the gear for the persons, like the drums, Bozio's drums were on racks, and the wah-wah guitar and the round guitar that Warren played, it was all there.
Really?
It was unbelievable for me. Yeah, it was just, we were on fire, but we were virtuosos. So it didn't seem to me, I was already, playing in front of tons of people in high school kind of thing. I was already known for playing, and I could play funk and all that stuff. But this just propelled that virtuosity kind of to another level. And we were able to stay so loose and not be affected by the situation, We were just like, oh, we're great. We're going to just go be obnoxious.
Yeah.
And because that was my whole, I just was obnoxious. So that's how that went down. And the funny thing about it was Jerry came up to me and said, hey, man, that thing cost me like $1,100. And I'm like, can't make a contract with a 17-year-old, bro. I'm a minor. Like, what are you going to do? Like, I'm sorry, but that's the way life is, right?
Yeah. Okay, so they wanted to charge you $1,100 to get a copy of that video?
No, it cost him that much to rent the place and hire the two cameras.
Oh, okay.
It was a 2-camera shoot. I mean, he really went out for us because he thought he was going to discover us,
Yeah, okay.
And so that was it. And we went back to playing regular parties and all that. Oh, I got a hip shot on my bass, though, next to it, the low D tuner. I still use that bass. I just used it on Friday.
Oh, wow, that's cool. Yeah, I saw the video. I was like,
side note,
where did you pull that video out of? Like, that thing's been in a...
Well, I had another video, but I gave it to a guy to digitize, and he died, which is such a Hollywood thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
different show?
Yeah.
Or same show?
So so on the Frusciante stuff, back to it. So flash forward 17 years. I'm in Venice, right? And I owned a hair salon and recording studio in one building, and I was a digital audio engineer, and I did post-production.
Oh, okay.
I think similar to you. I worked on, I did film score. I worked for Woolen and Associates Motion Picture Advertising. So I scored trailers. I did Being John Malkovich.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that kept me working. I did the first 3 videos of, what's his name? The crippled porno guy.
Oh, Larry Flint.
Flint.
Yeah,
Larry Flint.
Larry Flint.
I scored a bunch of films for him. I started doing digital audio design in 1988.
Oh,
so I was just right after John. So back to it. Me and John were playing. We were writing great music, and we were both tapping and doing all the 80s stuff.
Yeah.
And so we were hanging out, and he didn't do drugs or alcohol or anything. He was a very malleable kid, okay? And he was a very sensitive guy, and his family was not like my nuclear middle-class family at all. It was a divorced family that had, its turbulations. So I think that's where he just sat in his room and practiced guitar because he had pretty much no other life. He was pretty neglected. So that's why, I mean, his family was music and getting better, and he was so intelligent. And, but he still was very kind of young compared to me as far as what I'd been out in the world doing.
Yeah.
And we were at the beach at Zuma, right, at Paradise Cove.
Yeah.
And I was shrooming. And the whole time I was shrooming, he kept asking me if I was tripping. and it was just pissing me off for some reason. So like literally 2 days later, I packed up my truck and I moved to Santa Barbara.
Oh, okay.
And I kept in contact with John. We talked almost every day on the phone when I was up there. But I moved up there and joined a bar band.
Oh, okay.
And in the 80s in Santa Barbara, I made a lot of money, first off. And
yeah, party town.
It was, oh, dude. Yeah, so I played 5 nights a week, 4 to 6, every night almost. And I made $85 to $125 a night at 18 years old.
Yeah.
And I was digging it.
Yeah.
And then that's how I got, so John called me on my answering machine and said, come down and jam with me and DH, Allegro.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was going to do that, and I put that on the Instagram. You can hear the message, right?
Yeah, I heard that one. I was like, where's Matty getting all this stuff? Like, he must have kept the stuff in a vault or something, or he got, unearthed somehow years later, 35 years later.
Right. So I started doing music composition when all the masters were on cassette.
Yeah.
And for my birthday, I got a cassette deck and started digitizing them.
Okay.
And I don't label any of this stuff. So I'm listening to it, and all of a sudden, this is what's popping up. And it's just on a tape with other people going like, hey, douchebag, what are you doing on Tuesday? Right?
Yeah.
So I called John up, and, we were talking about the DH thing for a lot. And then he told me what was going on with the Peppers and Flea, and he was in contact with him. But me and DH and him, he wanted to start a band. And I'm like, maybe. I live on the beach in a 2-story house with a view.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard for me to be in an original band. But he's like, well, DH got in the Peppers. So I called him up, and we were talking, and he said, dude, I auditioned I was playing, we're jamming. I thought I was going to get in the band because that was like my favorite band in high school. I'm the Peppers guy.
Yeah.
Okay. And he didn't know who the fuck they were. And I'm just like, the Peppers are the greatest band ever. Right.
Yeah.
And that was their first and second and third record, consequently, not when he was in the band, obviously.
Yeah. The whole
so
stuff.
that's what got him into the whole thing in the first place, was me just having that element in my music.
Yeah. And is it you that takes them to like the Variety Arts Center to go see them play, like one of the first times? Were those some of the early gigs you guys went to go see?
Oh, well, we went and saw them quite a few times.
Okay.
I saw them without them. I've seen them so many times.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen them with every early incarnation from Jack Sherman,
really?
Cliff Martinez, Jack Irons, all of them.
Yeah.
And, we went to Devonshire Downs together, and he was running around, and you give him like 2 beers, and he was hammered. Mm-hmm. And he's like, the whole punk crew was there, and he was just acting super obnoxious because he was just a little awkward, He was in his own world, and he wasn't very social. Yeah. So, and the funny thing is he was very dirty, and he made a point of telling everyone how scummy he was, and that nobody likes him. He would always tell you that nobody likes him. And that's why when he quit the band the first time, it's really easy for me to understand it. He just looked out at that audience. It was like, these people wouldn't like me if they knew me. Mm-hmm. What am I doing here?
Yeah.
And he just went from being a kid to being on the road. He didn't even know who he was.
Right. Yeah. That's got to be a lot for anyone to.
And not to mention you're coming in off the bench, as I call it, because someone else passed. You're filling someone else's shoes. Mm-hmm. And it was tough for me to watch personally. I get very emotional talking about John because I felt for a long time that I was personally responsible for everything that happened to him. Mm-hmm. Because if he never met me, he would have never, ever wanted to be playing funk like that. And he would have been some sort of like Yngwie Malmsteen or Steve Vai. Yeah. Maybe it's my fault that he was a junkie because, he was not in the right element. He
Yeah.
was just pretending to be something he wasn't. And I see it now because he doesn't dress like that. He's not theatrical. So I was always theatrical as well. I understood it. And anyway, I had survivor's guilt.
Yeah.
Being in the scene for as long as I was and as many gigs as I've played, I've seen it all.
Yeah.
But that was just a tough pill for me.
Yeah. Yeah. But thankfully he came out the other side and, went on to do great things.
Man, I'm going to forget it. A friend of ours put him in rehab, threw him in the car, record exec. This guy too, he passed away when he was 55, and he was a pretty good friend of mine in Venice. All the execs ended up in Venice, but he helped John out.
Yeah.
So,
this is like the 97 era, like 97, 98, or even before then, helping him.
Yeah, I mean, somewhere around 97 or 98, he was playing at Smalls with Bob Forrest.
I was at that show.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
And he had lesions all over his arms, and he was fucking sick.
Yeah, he was covered up. He had long sleeves on.
Yeah, but I hung out with him afterward, and man, I wasn't very happy about it. I mean, I just get pretty emotional about the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but that's why, I mean, he was just, he went from bothering me because I was on shrooms to being in the Red Hot Chili Peppers around the most decadent Hollywood scene, that you could imagine.
Yeah.
It was a great time. Everybody was signed. Everybody was gigging. There was shows everywhere. It was fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he, when I went to Santa Barbara, I got into that. The band was called Heather and the White Boys. I played R&B and funk. It was a good time. And I was like 15 years younger than the entire crew. And I got picked up into an original band called Horse. And the first show I played with them, and I didn't want to be I'm a bar musician, man. I got no reason to be in an original band. Scrape out some pennies.
Mm-hmm.
And the first gig we played, I made $400.
Wow.
And I'm like, I made it. And then we went on tour. We opened for Agent Orange and the Buzzcocks and the original, So John was in his first years of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I was on the road playing with Mary's Danish and, K-Rock bands.
Yeah.
So I was in San Diego, and I come across a dude named Eddie Vedder. And he was wearing a brown leather jacket with a hand-painted chili on the back of it. Mm-hmm. And it was just, to me, it wasn't very cool. Mm-hmm. But, it is what it is. And that's how I got involved with playing with Eddie before he was in Pearl Jam.
Yeah, okay, got it.
He opened for me in Santa, and his band, Bad Radio, opened for a band called Horse.
Yeah, okay. So Horse is like kind of like a punk type band?
The whole thing. No way. A band called Horse was like The Cure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I dressed all sexy, and and the singer, actually it was John's bass he gave me, but I had a ripper, and the guy painted it all sexy, and
okay.
I don't know. It was a scene, but we were real good, and the only other band in town was Toad the Wet Sprocket, and they got signed.
Yeah.
At the time, everyone got signed. And then the keyboard player and my roommate and best friend was this guy named Jim Wood. He went on to be in Dishwalla.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I remember those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do hair and makeup as well,
Okay.
It's no big deal. But I did all their hair for their videos and everything.
Oh, nice.
I took the A&M Records money for them. We had a nice thing going.
Yeah. There's a nice little budget there.
Yeah. So that's the whole John thing. He moved in with a guy named Tom, and he I don't know where he met him, but he was he wanted to be a Zappa drummer, and this guy Tom used to like sit at Frank's gate, like, hey, hire me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So let's talk a little about the Zappa stuff. So I think I asked you on Instagram as well, like the story about him trying to audition for Zappa, or like he could have if he wanted to. It just didn't really happen.
Zappa knew who he was. So this is the Zappa thing.
Yeah.
So Jerry Fialka was the head of Barking Pumpkin Records, Frank's record label.
Yeah.
Brian was his road tech. So John got in with all the bottom guys and walked his way up, essentially, right? Then he was hanging out with Laurel. Laurel and I and him hung out a lot, and myself. She smelled like perfume real bad, and she dressed all kooky.
Yeah.
She was weird. And but she got me drunk all the time, and that's who introduced us at that show. I mean, she was at the show, right? And like, this is someone that Frank writes songs about. And she was Steve Vai's manager. So we would go, John didn't have a car, I had a car, right? So we'd go to Gail Vai's house and get Steve Vai picks, because he loved Steve Vai. And he loved Warren Cucurullo too. And I did too. So we would play the Attitude song,
Yeah.
And yeah, I was the only bass player, and I believe still to this day that could quite possibly keep up with John when he's at his best. No one else can. I mean, Norwood's tried. Flea, he follows Flea. Flea don't really follow him. Yeah. But I could follow him on anything. All his runs, all of the tapping and stuff.
Yeah.
Even when I was that age,
Right.
I grew up my mom was a classical pianist growing up. And I just heard music in the house. She played every day. And I knew how to read sheet music before I started playing music.
Okay.
So I had a very big advantage over the whole thing.
Yeah.
And John always knew how to read music as well, and made it important. So I think we connected on some sort of, theory level. That's why I could follow him, because he's like, oh, this is written in, A Dorian.
Right. And you guys know the modes, so you guys can follow, right?
Yeah. So none of that stuff was a problem. And he was remarkable, but there was a lot of remarkable people. And he learned that after obsessing on Zappa. When he was obsessing on Zappa, he was in his most technical phase. He spoke a lot about this with Rubin, for everyone out there who's going to hear this.
Yeah, the Rick Rubin broken record.
Yes. He talks about how technical he was, and he talks about being an Ike. And he talks about me at that Chili Peppers show.
Yeah.
But that really tells, he was technical. He wanted to be in Zappa's band. And then he would go over to their house and have dinner and sit and, basically teach Dweezil how to play. I mean,
that's
he would
crazy.
hang out with Dweezil. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, because they're probably about the same age, right? At that point, maybe, close.
But yeah, so he'd go over there and play, and he'd go into Zappa's studio and stuff, and he talked to Gail, and he was definitely known by Frank.
Yeah.
They never played together.
Okay.
At least that I know.
Right.
And and perhaps they would have if he didn't literally get into the Peppers 8 months or something after I left town. Thank God I left. I would have ruined his life again.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's playing out of Carvin's as well at that time, or is that?
I remember when he got the Carvin.
Okay. That's through the Frank connection as well? Because that's what Frank played, right?
No, his dad bought him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He would be like, Dad, I want this. And he'd get it. So, and he got this, but it was because of Steve.
Okay.
It's all because of Steve Vai.
Okay.
So that was the guitar player. And I think Steve played on an Alcatraz record or something else back in the day that he knew about. And then I took it to Las Vegas to have it sold because I just wanted to get it out. But for someone else to see. So I have like original transcriptions of Elephant Gun, of Steve Vai solo that John wrote. So there's a guy in Las Vegas who can sell that stuff, and he frames it and makes it look nice.
Oh, okay.
There's another thing that it just had been in my sheet music. I got like that, things of sheet music, and there's stuff that John had written, stuff my guitar teacher wrote, stuff I wrote. It's just in there,
Yeah, like wrote out the sheet music for
it's pretty unbelievable that he did that.
Yeah.
I guess it's not, because I guess I could do it too.
Yeah.
But he did it first, and I always respected his, like he just knew everything about music so fast. And I knew a lot about reading music, but I didn't know a lot about theory. So he could put it down on paper, and I'm like, oh, totally, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that was what was cool about playing with John. It was very difficult. He was so adamant on
headstrong
how it had to be. And I think that was a good thing for him to come into a band of guys who were a little more seasoned, because he didn't have the reins. But I don't believe in that, because I believe that, and you could see, I was interviewed by Jerry Fialka not too long ago. It's online.
Yeah.
But I say a lot of musical philosophy that you could see if you want to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I watched that one. Yeah, you sent it to me.
So Jerry and I have remained friends this whole time. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice for John to see him someday.
Yeah.
But that's the history of John. And Eddie Vedder as well. They both went from nothing to something in the fastest time, Like I myself got a record deal at 33 on playing guitar and not bass. Soccermom.
Oh, right.
Now I was a composer. I was in the studio, write music for TV and film, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the whole band idea was conceptual, and I wrote and recorded all the parts. And then I just found these guys through Elias Arts, which was you've heard of them?
No.
In Santa Monica, it's a post-production house that does it's a jingle house.
Oh, okay. And they put you together like with some studio musicians.
Yeah. So Elias, they would do like Budweiser commercials,
Oh, okay.
It's a good royalty gig for music. They let you drink beer in the studios.
Perfect.
But they signed Soccermom.
Oh, okay.
And the bass player for Soccermom was a mix engineer there. And he was a very, very talented dude. And then the drummer, one of them was this guy named John Wicks, who was in Fits in the Tantrums for like 14 years.
Oh, okay. Started
that band. And they're like it's like, I wish more people knew it. So when I say his name, they'd be like, oh yeah, John Wick,
No.
But I've had the privilege of playing with the best musicians ever since I've been playing music. It's unbelievable. And even the projects that I've been involved in, from Oscars to Emmys to whatever, it was all there. I'm a behind the scenes, I'm an off the bench guy. I'm not I don't like touring. I don't know how my friends do it. And they all do. Boy, it's tough. And I give them a lot of credit, but I'm a family man. And the studio seems to work better.
Yeah. And where are you located out of, Matty? Are you SoCal? Are you in California?
I'm in San Luis Obispo now.
Oh, okay.
I lived in Venice for something like 35 years. And, it was, it's getting a little trashy, as you know.
Yeah.
So I got remarried. I retired from doing commercial score in 2010. I started a restaurant. I flipped it. I got married. And I just bailed. I'm like, dude, I can't raise another kid on the West Side. It's just not right for them.
Yeah. You're restarting things. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
So, Yeah, I can't play music here, and I still play with people that tour and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't need a lot of practice, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's still and I play a lot of what's called jamgrass now.
Jamgrass?
So I play,
Okay.
I write music on ukuleles and slide guitars, and I build them. So my sister. So here it goes back to the whole life of fame and fortune. My older sister's best friend was Valerie Bertinelli.
Oh, okay.
And that chick all of a sudden started hanging out with Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah.
So my sister got to, sit there and sniff coke with Eddie, and it was rad. And the first concert I went to was at the Forum, the Fair Warning tour.
Oh,
and she
nice.
gave me a pack of joints, took me backstage, and man, oh man, that changed my life.
Yes.
And then that Christmas under the tree was that bass. Not that Christmas, 6th, 7th. No, like probably 4 or 5 years later, actually, from the show.
Oh,
but I got to go to his house and all that stuff with Eddie, and I never played with him. He never heard me play or anything like that. But he'd come over to my parents' house. I would go to see One Day at a Time and sit in the backstage with him.
Oh, okay.
and he smoked Winston's and drank Lowenbrow all day long, dude. And I loved him. I fucking loved him. Like there was no tomorrow, And that's what always gravitated me toward just utterly shredding, because I wanted to shred like Eddie.
Yeah.
And thankfully I can, like I can play that good. And it's like, fuck yeah, Matty, you did it. And I could do it on every instrument,
Yeah.
So when I did music composition, I play all the parts and I do all the producing and recording.
Okay.
So it's a good time.
I see your E-drums there too. So you're doing drums, bass, guitar.
Yeah, I play keyboard. So on all my compositions that I've done for music and film, I, by and large, play all the parts, unless the budget's super huge and I don't feel like being cheap.
Yeah.
But I have I have more songs and more styles than you could possibly imagine. I just don't put it out there. But I've written 3 records for Soccermom, but I just quit because I felt like a jukebox, man. I just kept playing the same 14 songs over and over.
Yeah.
And then the band wanted me to color my hair. And I was like, dude, I just, I don't want to have gray roots, bro.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I quit altogether. But it's like I played bass for everybody. Like another story. So I was done with, when I got done with Pearl Jam's guy, Eddie.
Yeah.
And that he got into Pearl Jam. Like, so Jack Irons was sitting in and playing with us, and then all of a sudden he's in Seattle and famous. I mean, it happened like overnight, and it was really, really odd how fast he's an overnight sensation, I guess. It doesn't happen like that very often.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was talented, but it's just because the other band was already signed. Same thing with Brad Wilk. Brad Wilk joined with Tom Morello. Tom Morello already had a band with Brian Garillo of the Crystal Method called Lockup. They were signed to Geffen. They played at, places like the Lingerie. Remember that place?
Yeah, Club Lingerie.
What's that?
Club Lingerie?
Yeah, Club Lingerie.
Yeah.
And they had already been signed by Geffen. So when that band came around, Rage Against the Machine formed, they had already been prospected. So they became an overnight sensation as well. It's unbelievable, that era of signings. But I do believe on the business side of things is the CD production really monetize the record industry by lowering the cost of the actual product. The CD costs something like $1.50 less than a record and 65 cents less than a cassette.
Yeah.
So, and then they sold it for more money. So the amount of bands that started getting signed when CDs came out was unbelievable.
Ah,
and when CDs went away, there's just no way of selling music anymore. You don't get any royalties. I get my last quarter, I got $1.47 in royalties, and I had 2 million plays.
Wow, that does make sense.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not going to complain about such a small amount of plays in the reality of it, but when you hear Snoop Dogg talk about how much money he's losing,
yeah,
and that's why you see so many bands on the road now.
Yeah,
because the diminishing royalties have made older bands hit the road,
right.
Which is cool. In like 2022, there was a shortage of tour buses.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was like fights over them, and you could lose your tour bus mid-tour for someone else, taking a little bit more dough for it.
Yeah.
So it's been an interesting progression now because it's a bite and scratch. But when we were young, you could influence the world, and the Chili Peppers certainly influenced the world. They were amazing live. They were unbelievable. And everybody gets older,
Yeah.
And they still can almost do what they used to do, which is pretty cool. The music is not the same because John is not Hillel.
Yeah.
And I'd like to emphasize in this interview, because John had to more or less be pigeonholed into the position of Hillel, maybe we don't know his capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what I want people to consider when they think of John and the problems that he's had quitting the band over and over again. Mm-hmm. Because I'm sure the family aspect of the band, the love that he had within the members, was attractive. But maybe it was like a thoroughbred in a harness race. I just want to be intelligent on that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I mean, I've always been a commercial musician. I just play for money. And I write stupid, funny songs. I've written some very complicated songs. And I went on without John until 2000.
Oh, okay.
And it got poppy. And we played all over LA. I played 4 nights a week with Ike for a long time. And it was like there's a place by you, the Universal Bar and Grill.
Oh, yeah.
I played there every Wednesday or Tuesday. I played at Al's Bar once a week. I was known as the best bass player in Al's Bar.
Oh, okay.
Which is nothing. But I did actually, another cool thing is I played with Trulio Disgracius a couple times.
Oh, yeah. I remember those guys.
And, yeah, so a long time ago, the first time I did it, Blackbird was playing.
Oh, okay.
And it was the first time I'd played with him. And he laid down what happened to him.
Oh, okay.
With the Peppers.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm like, you're Blackbird, and I'm like, Parliament, Parliament.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I know John. And he's like, you know John? Because it's a rare thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, they kicked DH and Dwight Blackbird out of the band for being black because BMI said, how are we going to promote a white funk punk band with 2 black guys in it? And he was pretty pissed off at that.
Yeah.
But that's from his mouth to my ears. And that's an amazing one. So for me to be able to be in full circle with the bands, and it's that way, all Fishbone guys.
Mm-hmm.
I played with Hellride, with Steve Perkins for years. Every 6 weeks, his band and Soccermom played together.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, and so everybody's tight knit, and it's it's a good scene in LA. The musicians who work out there, they know how hard it is, and they know how hard it is for everybody, even if they're making dough, except for maybe Perry.
Mm-hmm.
He's made too much dough.
Yeah.
And that's it. And John, I think I played with a drummer named Mike Gilfone. He goes by Mike the Wop, and he was about the only musician I've ever played with that was better than John.
Okay.
And maybe my guitar teacher.
Okay.
His name's Ken Lassane, and he's a studio musician. He's a session guy. He plays on a million commercials. And his dad was the music teacher at Hamilton High, and it was known for the jazz program. So he had a little leg up on the rest of us.
Yeah.
But John just out of the gate was so much more talented musically than he was talented socially.
Right. Yeah. It's a give and take. You either a balance of something. Right.
And I'll tell you, I think the first time I saw him with the Chili Peppers was in Santa Barbara. When I lived there, he come through.
Oh, okay.
And DH was still on drums.
Okay.
Okay. So they kicked out Blackbird, but they hadn't kicked out DH yet. And they were doing a little mini tour. And all of a sudden, John, he used to perm his hair so he looked like a heavy metal guy.
Yeah.
And, because he was pretty metally, like Friedman and Becker and
oh yeah
and all those kind of guys. He had that look, and he would do all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's very good at watching a guitar player and mimicking him, and that's why he got so good. Is he could just, no matter how good they were, he could just mimic anything they did.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And what kind of I'm sorry, what kind of gear are you guys using? Like even in the early Ike days, like you had that bass that you said from Eddie, and then your cabinets.
Yeah. Oh, I used a Fender amp. I used like a double thing, and I don't remember quite how I had it rigged.
Oh, okay.
But I used to use a 15 with like 2 amp heads, like Jocko, so I could get that overdrive, like a preamp.
Oh, okay. And then John has the half stack. He's got the Carvin half stack.
Well, no, he didn't at first. He just had like a regular Fender amp, and then when we started Ike, he needed to get an amp, and then he got that one. And then he had that beat up guitar, that Stratocaster, the 70s with the big headstock, and he destroyed it. And that was the only guitar he had. And then we went to Performance Guitar and got him that guitar with the naked ladies on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And what's the Strat?
Yeah.
Did he burn it or something? Or burn the body? Or just
Dude, he burned it, and he dragged it down the street and all this stuff. And it's just his ultimate rebellion. I don't, and I remember he played at the Anson Ford Theater the first time. And for some reason, she called me.
His mom?
Right?
His mom?
Yeah. I don't know why. And I went to see Johnny play. I went to see Johnny play, and there was like a halo over his head. And I'm like, hell yeah, there was. All right. And it was like right out of Chatsworth with his perm and his naked lady guitar and his Carvin.
Yeah.
And that's, thankfully he had professional equipment, dude, because he got into that band so fast. And, here's a band that's my favorite band, right? So I know so much about him, to the guy who made the glow in the dark paint for True Men Don't Kill Coyotes video.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm a savant. John, he's never had to work, and he's just got to play music and compose. And I suppose I never had to work either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I do work. I'm an artist. I work on projects, you know. And but I don't know. It's an amazing story of talent, and I mean his solo stuff. He's written a lot of solo stuff, but it just doesn't have that impact of Ike and what Ike could have been with or without me, just if he kept playing that way.
Mm-hmm.
And writing, you know, our songs were satirical because I was satirical and he was satirical with Frank. So he was writing that stuff already, but we had all those funny songs, and they always continued. So,
did you guys record any of the Ike stuff, like on 4-track tapes or anything like that?
No, just that live one. We never recorded anything. There is his recordings of Flying Cockamamie Brothers out there. I know some people that may have it.
Mm-hmm.
And that stuff he did on 4-track. But I never recorded the Ike stuff.
Okay.
And the Ike stuff, like even that song Hippies, it has that amazing solo in it that gets a million hits. That song was written before John was in the band, because that's what kind of music I was already writing. You know, heavy metal, you know, all these social commentaries. Mm-hmm. I'm a conceptual writer. And but he just, you know, he wanted to blast everything, and I was totally fine with it. It's like, take your solo. I got you as the bass player, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, my favorite bass player is Michael Anthony, because he could sit there behind Eddie and just keep it solid while that guy goes.
Right, lock in that groove.
And you got to know your job and use your chops as a weapon as a bass player, especially if you want to play with guys like John. Mm-hmm. So he groomed me as a bass player to play with that intense guitar player guy. And I just wish when they retire, they're going to take one more tour. Maybe he'll go back to shredding. Who knows?
Yeah. Have you lost touch with them in the last 20-something years, John?
Yeah, I lost touch with all those guys, except for Brad, maybe from Rage. We'll hit each other up on Instagram once in a while.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so he hasn't seen this Ike footage like in 40 years.
But like, well, the other day, here's a sidebar that just tickles me. On Instagram, Hunt Sales hit me up. He played with Iggy Pop and he's in Tin Machine with David Bowie.
Oh, okay.
This guy's like my hero. And he's like, I like your stuff on Instagram.
Oh, wow,
and I was like, cool. Oh my God. And we were just talking, and I've just been real fortunate, you know, that all my stories and all the musicians that I get to hang with have been talented.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And sometimes I look at it that way, but I'm like, it's been my production that has propelled them into their jobs. I trained John to be in a band. I recorded Eddie. I produced and recorded Indian Style. And those are the first digital recordings on, those digital recordings were made on an IKE digital 12-track in the 80s. And I put those online. So those are the earliest digital recordings you could hear.
Okay.
I had sound tools before there was Pro Tools. Yeah. I had Opcode. I had a huge studio in Santa Barbara. It was incredible. I had an Allen and Heath 48 channel board with the mini plugs for the routers on Patch Bay on board.
Yeah.
So I've been doing digital audio recording since 1988. Yeah. And then that's how I made my living, because I was able to record. And I was the audio supervisor for Stanley Media when Stan Lee had an internet company, and I did webisodes, the first webisodes ever made with Stan Lee. So that was pretty exciting. I worked with Rod Steiger. I'm doing voiceover work. I've done multiple cartoons with Stan Lee.
Yeah.
I record the dialogue, and I compose the music. I've been, the music of Soccermom has been in several movies and surf films.
Oh, okay.
I was on a reality show. I swapped lives with a guy.
Really?
To see a preacher. And at the time, it was 2005, I became the highest paid reality TV personality.
Really?
Because, dude, they paid me $55,000. And then I had an entertainment lawyer that they didn't expect. And I worked it into my contract that they would be responsible for the taxes withheld on the winnings. So they had to reimburse me for the taxes that I would have had to pay on the money they paid me.
Oh, okay. That's smart. Yes.
Yeah. So it was called Wallet Roulette. It was like wife swap with men, and it didn't make it because I was too obnoxious.
Oh, okay.
And eventually they had to have the executive producer of the show. It was Granada Entertainment, which is huge.
Yeah.
But the last thing we filmed, I got so drunk that I just passed out in that like a gutter. And we could do this one without Matty. Yeah, like I just the one of the PAs came and picked me up, and I was just drinking and smoking a big fat joint by the pool, and I'm like, I'm ready to go. And she says, "Oh, you can't take that in the car." And I'm like, "Well, you better call your boss and tell him I'm not coming."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, you can smoke and drink in the car then."
Yeah.
I love Hollywood, bro. I love Hollywood.
Right.
So that's about it. I've done a lot of music, man.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it. It's been quite a career.
Yeah, a lot of films, a lot of music, and it's okay.
Yeah, life's good. Right.
It is, and this John, with John, I'm forever married to him, in a sense, because I get a lot of questions. But I hope that this, you put this out somehow that people just understand it all and don't have to worry about hitting me up with it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you for your time too to answer some questions.
What's that?
Thank you for your time too to go down memory lane and relive some of these stories. Just want to say thank you to you. Appreciate your time doing it.
Sure, Ralph. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's nice. And I got to say though, people who like John, there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's so many people around the world that just think he's like the greatest guitar player. And that's cool.
Yeah.
Because he did what he wanted to do. He wanted to be the best guitar player. And maybe it didn't go the way he wanted to, but it still went the way the record companies facilitated.
Great. Thank you so much. Can you do one more show of your guitars? I think my camera glitched out when you were showing it the last time around.
Sure. All right, what do we got here? Oh, here. Well, this one's pretty cool. This is my Ganjo.
Ganjo?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I put this, you know what a lav is, I'm sure.
Yeah.
This is a lav that's glued inside a bottle cap for the pickup.
Oh, okay. Got it. You just plug it in.
So I built that. So yeah, that's kind of how I do it. And then this is my main. This is a 1993. Can you see that?
Yeah.
I don't know how to.
Yeah, I can see the headstock. Okay.
That's my music, man. I never need another bass.
Yeah.
I can't. Nice. I have bad vision. I can only see with my glasses on.
Okay. Yeah, you can keep them on.
And then I got a really killer Les Paul. That's my main axe, and it's been broken 3 times, and I just glued it back together for the third time.
What's breaking
And
on it? The headstock?
yeah, I broke the headstock off 3 times. I mean, I played this live in Soccermom and just all over the place. Where
Oh,
is it?
okay. Yeah, I see it there. Oh, yeah, that's nice.
There it is.
There you
Yeah,
go.
and this is straight from the factory. So it's like a heavy archtop studio with an ebony fretboard and trapezoid inlays and the high-end pickups. I could never get another one, so you have to repair it.
Yeah, take care of it.
The first time it broke, I took it to Performance where John got the Ibanez made.
Yeah.
And he glued it and it broke. Next time it broke, I took it to a furniture repair place and it lasted for 15 years. So there you go. When you need something with wood fixed, don't go. So yeah, but they break like that. And when I got that from Soccermom, I got a bunch of free gear from Soccermom.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty cool.
Endorsements?
It's cool. It's cool getting signed, yeah.
Yeah.
And I made a bunch of videos. We got all the cool videos and stuff. And one of these days, people ask me to put it on Spotify, which I'm getting there. Another thing is I had all my masters on CDs and DVD ROMs of everything. So I finally have been starting to transfer them over.
Yeah.
I had to get like a computer, a drive, so I can, because computers don't have drives for all that stuff anymore.
Yeah, enough space. Yeah.
So
that Ike video, speaking of that, was that like on a VHS tape or like a beta?
Yeah.
Like VHS tape?
So, and the only reason it took me, the only reason that I even put that out there was because he was talking about it with Rick Rubin.
Oh,
and so someone from Italy hit me up on Instagram and said, John's talking about you with Rick Rubin.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no way. And she sent me the link. And sure enough, man, I was shocked. I didn't even know he remembered any of that stuff. But he does remember how I pushed him to not be so technical.
Yeah.
That is so crazy, man.
Yeah. That's really cool. He gave you the shout out.
Yeah, and she gave me the shout out, and so I said, "Fuck, man, I'm gonna put this on the internet then."
Mm-hmm.
And I went out and looked for a VCR, and I couldn't find one to buy.
I'm sure. Yeah, they don't make them anymore.
No. So and if you buy a used one, there's a really good chance they're gonna eat the tape. I've learned this already. So, dude, I took it to Radio Shack. There's still a Radio Shack up here, and he digitized it. Yeah, he digitized it for $25.
Really?
And then,
jeez, that's great.
So, and then I just, I did one thing. I just posted the remaster. So I put it in my studio and I remastered it.
Oh, okay.
Because I have probably I don't know. If we're going to put it into hours, maybe 40 hours worth of music I need to remaster.
Okay. Of all the stuff you've done.
To really put it online, aside from stuff that's already out there in videos, on surf films and music videos.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm always doing new work, so it's really hard for me to have time. Even to get that stuff off of cassette tape was extremely difficult time-wise, and I still have boxes of cassettes I haven't gone through.
Right.
But I found a band that I was in called Spider Monkeys Dance in Hollywood in the box of tapes, and we fucking shred, man. I forgot about that band.
Yeah. Digitize that too.
So many, yeah, but I have to master it.
Oh yeah.
I have to mix it.
Okay.
So I'm an engineer and I've always recorded everything.
Okay.
That's why I have all this stuff.
Yeah.
I've been a recording engineer and producer, and people when I was younger, they paid me to record their songs. So all these songs, and I did soul songs, New Kids on the Block songs, country songs.
Wow.
It depends on the films too. So I have just tons and tons of work, especially because back in the day when I did commercial music, they would ask me for 5 spec songs and pay me to do 5, and then, pay me the big bucks for the one they used if they used it.
Okay.
But then after a while, when someone asks you for 5 songs, you kind of already have them recorded.
Right. Yeah.
But
You built your library.
I did AAA commercials. I've done corporate documentary films. I've done tons of documentary films. I did one called Art Copy that won an Emmy.
Mm-hmm.
I did a documentary film called Soccermom, the movie, that won.
You did?
At the Other Venice Film Festival.
I want to see that.
It's funny as hell. It's a mockumentary. It's got Jeff Ho in it and Gaza X. And it's a very well done thing.
Yeah.
And then let's see, I did I made a short film with Woolen and Associates called Drummer Wanted. It's a 4-minute short. It was up for competition in Slam Dance.
Yeah.
And it went to we submitted it to 14 fests, and it made all 14 out of 14, including Edinburgh. It played at Coachella.
Really?
And then we followed that up with a documentary called Jam, done by Mark Woolen, and I have 13 songs in it, and it's about roller derby in the 90s in the 70s coming back in the 90s.
Oh,
and
okay.
that won at South by Southwest and got picked up by the Sundance Channel. So that's pretty gnarly video.
Yeah.
Or doc.
Cool.
So yeah. Then I worked more on that side than, and then I would just play at night. I'd be in the studio all day being told what to do, and then I'd go out and just play at night.
Right.
So it was a good time.
It's a good release. Yeah. A good balance.
Yeah. And as well as I do, when you work in television or film, it's got to be up to the millisecond, and there's always someone who could replace you.
Right. Exactly.
So, you got to be on point. But
sure.
Because of it, I can arrange for horns and do complicated harmonies because I had no choice.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, we can wrap it up and just say again, thank you for your time and your stories and sharing, because there'll be a lot of people that have some of these questions and just want to get your message out there a little bit.
And then let me say, so I had to leave my studio, and then I got a new hair salon. Now, I used to own the hair salon, but I didn't really do a lot of hair in them because, I don't know, I sold weed out of them, and I'd have shows.
Yeah.
Like I just did promotions, and I was in Soccermom, and I played. Soccermom had shows constantly, so we played 210 shows a year. So it wasn't like I just went there and paid the bills.
Yeah.
But it was a cool place on Abbot Kinney.
Oh, okay.
So I had a hair salon on Abbot Kinney, which was really cool, and then I turned it into like a black barber shop for the Shoreline Crips.
Oh wow.
And that was pretty rare. Yeah. So. I was always bouncing around Venice, and it was a real good time. And I just can't believe that, like, John I never saw him. I saw everybody else. But next to my shop, Warren Cucurullo moved into a house.
Wow, really?
Right? And, so Warren was in Playboy for Playgirl magazine, okay?
Okay.
And this guy, Brian and Thomas Nordic, there's all these people involved in it, but and John happens to see the video. They videoed the photo shoot. Warren was hammered drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And Warren and I started hanging out, but he lived there. He was crazier than John. And I could see why John liked him. And then he would kiss me and stuff. I like to be touched and stuff. And I'd see him all the time, and then he invited me. He played at the Viper, and I went and saw him at the Viper Room, and he was better than John.
Yeah.
He blew my mind.
Wow, it's incredible.
He sang the alphabet backwards at like 300 beats per minute, stopping on various letters and singing stuff, and then going back to it. And I was like, wow. I don't even know if I could learn how to do that, bro.
Yeah.
And he was really eccentric. His house was all fucking, like, one room was like, the wallpaper was like Marshalls, like Marshall stacks.
Yeah.
But it was like
crazy.
wallpaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, his bathroom was like little pebbles everywhere. In Venice, you see this stuff all the time, so it wasn't, too crazy. But it was really cool that he had to move next to me.
Yeah.
Same with Jerry. Jerry lives in Venice, and he does a lot of movie stuff, and he's got all that cool stuff he does, and he's still doing cool stuff. But when I saw him, he gave me a bag of all these masters, but I lost them, unfortunately. But it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's been a good time.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
well,
Matty.
listen, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Tell me what's up, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Well, take care. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, Matty. Thank you again. We'll be in touch.
All right.
All right. Thanks.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.